My dad left my mom for a younger woman and I don't want to meet their baby. So my dad is in his 60s and so is my mom. 2 years ago my dad left my mom for a woman in her 20s. My mom took an overdose and I was the one who found her. It was too late to save her at this point. Me and my mom have had our differences but I loved her very much. I am one of 7 children. She's a hardcore conservative who loves keeping up appearances. However, to her family is everything. When I came out as trans I could tell my mom wasn't happy, but she said it didn't change her love for me and that at the end of the day her relationship with me was more important than how she felt about my decision. She supported me through my transition, used my correct name and pronouns and cared for me through my surgeries and never said a word, but I could tell it was hard for her. She kept asking me if I was sure I wanted to do this, etc. She showed me videos of detransitioners but she didn't make any negative comments towards me. In the end she got quite used to me as a woman and seemed to not be upset by it anymore. My dad has always been unfaithful but my mother ignored it. He's a good-looking guy for his age and he has looked after himself and has had multiple surgeries to look younger. My mother has always been a bit overweight and has just been there in the background having and raising children. I think he got with her because she's the only woman who would let him walk all over her like he did. When my father left her for an attractive 20-year-old she went hysterical. After the overdose she left a suicide note explaining that what my dad did was the ultimate betrayal and now she will always be known for this situation in our small town. She said she couldn't handle the humiliation and the gossip and the fact that she won't get to grow old with the father of her children. She said she didn't sign up for being left for a 26-year-old when she married and had children. She gave her youth to my father and she wanted his golden years. She also revealed that she had given birth to a child out of wedlock in 1978 and was forced to give the child up for adoption, that this had followed her through life and caused endless pain and the only thing she could count on to get her through it was her husband and children. Not even my father knew about this apparently. Now that's not even the sibling I am talking about. I have plans to try and trace the adopted sibling. My father and his new piece have just had a baby. I have said that I want nothing to do with him. This child just symbolizes my mother's death and my mother's hurt. To me this child should not exist. My father should have actually had a soul and grew old with my mommy. The rest of my family are calling me an asshole. The only member that agrees with me is my youngest sister whose mental health has also been affected. I don't know what to do. I am on antidepressants and I feel so isolated at the moment. I think you are entitled to your feelings. The only assholes here are your father and his side piece. Hello. Sorry to hear about your loss and your pathetic father. There is nothing you can do about it, frankly, I feel. Just trace your sibling and the rest of you always stay in touch with one another. Someday or the other your father will realize what he truly lost. Good luck. I'm sorry you've been through so much. It must have been traumatic to find your mom and read her suicide note. Your family is wrong. Your feelings are valid and you don't have to have a relationship with anyone you don't want to. Do you still speak to your father? You are definitely not an asshole. Your mother's death was probably very traumatic for you, so being around your father and his family would be very difficult. Just because they're family doesn't mean that you have to forgive them or be around them. I am also trans, so I understand that part. I can tell that your mother truly loves you, and even though she had some outdated beliefs, she was being open-minded and was learning from you. Your father isn't entitled to your support or your time. That's your decision and it's not fair for your family to criticize you. I think it's a great idea to trace the adopted sibling, and it might help you learn more about your mom and feel closer to her. You do not have to be in your father's life at all. Not sure I would ever want to be around my parents' side piece ever. Sorry for your loss. Prioritize your own mental health, block family if you need to. It sounds like your mother was an absolutely wonderful woman. Strength from kindness, even though she never should have put up with his infidelity, she placed you first. She loved you and wanted the best for you. You don't need to speak to anyone you don't want to. You don't have to be in contact with your father if you don't want to, especially not when it's such a hurtful reminder that he triggered your mother's suicide. I wish you so much strength. Take your time to grieve, and consider seeing a therapist to help you process your feelings. Grieving your mother, grieving your parents' relationship, and the life you could have had seeing them grow old together. You're entitled to feel however you want in this situation. Sorry for your loss. I'm sorry about your mom. That's a really shitty thing for your father to have done. You have no obligation to meet his new woman or their baby, and you have no obligation to even think of that baby as family. Block your father and his new woman, and then tell the rest of your family that you blame your father for your mother's death, and that you'll never forgive him for that, and if they don't fuck off you will block them, too. How to restore a relationship after a massive argument. I'm 5 months pregnant and I've not been feeling myself emotionally. I'm due to marry my fiancé in 2 months. A couple of nights ago I got a message from his ex-girlfriend from 6 years ago who claimed that they were still talking to each other during our relationship. She showed me supposed direct messages between them. They were explicit. However, my fiancé said that they were fake. He's told me about this person very briefly in the past. She's been harassing him on and off for 6 years and has tried to ruin most of his subsequent relationships by spreading rumors. After speaking with him I do believe that the messages are fake, but to begin with I didn't believe him as they looked so real. He is upset with me as I didn't listen to him when he told me to block her straight away. I instead continued reading her messages to see what she had to say. I believe that anybody would do the same in that situation. He feels betrayed that I questioned him initially and didn't have trust in him. It's hard for me too, as I've sacrificed a lot for him and I feel so vulnerable, especially now that I am pregnant with his baby. We had a massive argument when I suggested that we both finally confronted her over the phone to put an end to this harassment, as I didn't want this stalking to continue into our marriage, especially now that we have a baby on the way. He refused and said that there was no point, and that he wouldn't confront her about it at all. I was so emotional and upset by this, and at that point I thought that he didn't care about our family's safety. In hindsight I know this was not true. Anyway, in the heat of the moment I then blurted out to him that I shouldn't have had his baby. I feel terrible about saying this because I didn't mean it at all, and I don't even know why I said it, to be honest. My emotions have been very up and down recently. The comment hurt him a lot, and understandably so. He ended the relationship as a knee-jerk response to that comment, but later that night said that he didn't mean to. We spoke about it and made up. Our relationship has been amazing so far, we get along and click so well. He's never given me a reason not to trust him. This is the first proper argument we've had. But now things do not feel the same. It's been a couple of days since the argument and he's become more withdrawn and quiet over the phone. He's currently away with the army. This all happened while he was away, so it definitely doesn't help that we haven't seen each other in ages. He will be back next week. How do we recover and get back to normal? Have I ruined my marriage before it has even begun? If she's so terrible, why doesn't he get a restraining order? If she's such a liar, why won't he confront her with you about her lies? Him getting defensive, for even suspecting it's real, is a big red flag to me. I think you should go to marriage counseling and maybe also hire a PI to look into his tech activity. If he's cheating you should know, for your baby's health and your own. Is it possible she's done this before to his past partners because it's true? I've had 2 dudes swear their ex was crazy and obsessed with them, and then after further investigation I found out their exes kept contacting them, randomly, because they were actively communicating. Is it possible he's manipulating you? Why else would he get mad you wanted to review the evidence and not immediately just shut it down? I wish he posted this so I could talk to him. You are pregnant and there are a lot of emotional and hormonal things not normal with you. But in a relationship, marriage, there are some red lines that must not be crossed. No matter the state you both are in. I think you should talk to him ASAP, and clear things up to him. He have to hear that you love him very much and he is amazing. But you are hurt by his actions. Tell him that you didn't mean about what you said. And you want both of you to heal and get this past you. And you are waiting for him to come back. Learn from this, dear friend. And try to control your impulses, both of you. Hello, and thank you for your submission. Please take a moment to review the rules listed in our sidebar. For further guidance, please see our wiki. This is a bot message. I cannot respond to any comments. Please modmail us with any questions. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit. Message compose to =r relationship_advice if you have any questions or concerns. Why haven't you called this ex and spoke to her directly? Husband tried to murder me, his family doesn't believe me. So I am a female in my early 20s, ex-fiancé also early 20s. Not sure exactly where to post this. Abusive relationship? Relationship advice? Custody advice? Anyways, sorry if this isn't the right spot. I posted here before for a similar situation but took it down out of fear. But now things have gotten way worse. Basically we got in an argument about me wanting to work a weekend job so he could quit one of his jobs, he had 2. I wanted a night job serving drinks at a regular bar with pool tables, kind of had a restaurant vibe. He flips out, says hell no and throws a fit. The days get closer for my interview and when the day comes for it, he goes ape shit. Comes home, is drinking a giant thing of whiskey, and starts to push me around, threatening me. Knife to my throat, tried to strangle me multiple times in front of my 1-year-old in our room. I couldn't handle this anymore. Next day when he leaves I call the cops and they take pictures of all the bruises on my neck, and all the big black, red bruising on my sides, back, and arms. He gets arrested but bailed out by his family right away. His family continues to mock me saying I'm a liar, that I hurt him and he did nothing wrong and didn't lay a hand on me. Yet he doesn't have a scratch on him. I know they are going to lie for him in court to try and get the court to give our kids to him. 1 and 2. He has a restraining order but it ended. Me and my kids are with my mother at the moment but he is still going to get his family to lie for him to take them away. I'm not sure what to do when that happens. They're gaslighting you. Is there anyone else you can speak to? Any money stashed away? Any friends that are only yours, that don't like him, that could house you away from him? Any way to get a restraining order? You need hardcore evidence and a lawyer. His shitty family will always protect him. Has he ever threatened you via text? You need witnesses. Does any of your friends, neighbors know about his abuse? Get a lawyer ASAP. If you have picture of bruises, it's strong evidence. If police took him on the next day, they should have tested him with alcometer. Another strong evidence. Whatever his family will say in court won't be worth half a fart, unless they live with you under the same roof, which I doubt they are. Also courts tend to lean towards woman's side in any domestic violence cases. Custody of kids will be, more likely than not, yours. Tell the police that his family is now harassing you. They sound like trash, but any indication of harassing you, a domestic violence victim, by proxy, could potentially not only get them in trouble, but add to his charges as well. This needs to be a conversation with your lawyer, and you need to do everything you can to get in a room with one. Don't let your life be an episode of Cops, you have kids to protect. You need to get off Reddit and go to a lawyer. You need to be pressing charges. Who cares what his family says? They watched their son assault you. Get off Reddit and go to court. If the RO ended you should have gone back to make it permanent. Get yourself to a lawyer ASAP. A good lawyer has all of the proof he needs. He is a danger to you and the kids. Not a chance in rot in hell. Bye, guy. This is above Reddit's pay grade, but you should probably already have a lawyer to represent you. If you do not, you need to find one now. Then, you will likely also need some therapy. I'm sorry to hear about this op. I'm breaking up with him because of a game. I know this will sound shallow. Me and my boyfriend are both adults. If you check my history you will see that I am bothered by a girl gamer who always joins me and my boyfriend in the game. I am new to the game, and my boyfriend and I plays together to have a bonding time, since we are currently in an LDR because of COVID. I feel connected with him while playing and I enjoyed it a lot. He is very close to her since they have been playing for a long time. She doesn't speak English, only Mandarin. And every time she joins us, she and my boyfriend chats together in their language and it makes me feel that I am a third party. I feel left out. I tried joining in the conversation, but she doesn't try to talk to me in English. I told my boyfriend about my feelings. He knows that I am annoyed and uncomfortable about it. And still, he doesn't do anything to prevent her from joining. He doesn't want to block her, he doesn't tell her that he only plans to play with me in that particular time. I don't mind if he plays with her, but just not with me. I don't want to be so uptight about it. It's okay for him to have girlfriends. But in this situation, that she joins all the time. I just don't know what else to do. I have never been placed in this kind of situation before, so I don't know how to act on it. It consumes me daily. To the point that I am thinking of breaking up with him. So I can have my peace of mind back. I know I will probably regret this decision, but I know I need my peace back. Am I just being emotional right now or it's a valid reason for breakup? Am I just being emotional right now or it's a valid reason for breakup? Your feelings are totally valid. You're LDR right now, so this is a way for you guys to spend quality time together. Imagine you were living together and a friend was always joining you for date night or whatever. This isn't all that different. If he's not willing to make time for just you, even if it means telling his friend he won't be playing with her during that time, which should be pretty simple emo, then it doesn't sound like he's very worth your time. You're not breaking up because of a game, you're breaking up because he's not respecting you. It is a valid reason. You've voiced how you felt about it, but he hasn't done anything to stop it. As a gamer, I'd feel the same way. Anything is a valid reason for a breakup. You voice your concerns and feelings and nothing was changed. He does not make any effort to have quality time with you as well. Sounds like a reasonable deal breaker and quite frankly a relationship killer on his part. When the long distance is shortened, he's probably going to be on his phone 24/7 talking to her. Can't even imagine what a marriage will be like. I'm breaking up with him because of a game. No, you are breaking up with him because he doesn't treat you with respect. You're not happy with how things are, he doesn't want to change, relationship over. Your boyfriend simply needed to inform her to not interrupt his couple's gaming time. Not sure why he hadn't. Have you asked him to do so? Have you asked him why he hadn't do so? If he can't even schedule alone times for both of you, breaking up might the right call. Or maybe you can switch up the games. If the games allows multiplayer, play other games that is only for two, or games she does at play. When I was in an LDR years ago, we used gaming as a date night sort of thing. Some nights we'd eat with friends, but some nights were just for us. So in that context, if you and your boyfriend weren't LDR and he brought another girl to every date, you'd probably break up with him.